All right. It's another Tuesday night. It's another great Tuesday night.
Sound like it's a nice one, baby.
It's another great Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Say word.
That's a nice
Y'all
green,
back
eh?
in the house, y'all. We back in the house. Bernice Taylor, how you doing? Right off the bat, how you doing?
Peace, love.
We got Bernice Taylor.
Yeah.
Be the first in the house tonight. What's up, Bernice?
Yes, sir. How you
What
doing?
number one?
Bernice is up there got her walking early this morning, Lanny. Bernice is out there 7:30 this morning walking.
Wow.
Go ahead, bro.
Do
Give it
your
up.
thing. Go ahead, girl.
Wow. Go ahead, Bernice.
Rock on, sister. That is what it is.
Sir.
That's all right.
Kimberly Queen in the house. How you doing, my baby? Kim Queen.
All right.
Love to
Y'all fall into
Tanya
this.
see you.
Tanya Tenacious Cooper in the house. How you doing,
Bernice
Tanya?
Taylor in the building.
Tanya.
Tanya, you
What's
got
up,
hit me up,
Tanya?
man. You need to talk, man.
All right. Who else we
Good to
got?
see you.
Kimberly Queen up in the house. You mentioned her, right?
Kimberly Queen in
Yes,
the house.
indeed.
What's up, Kim?
Bernice said she got 5.1 in. Good Lord.
Who is Bernice?
You mess with y'all. You know what it is.
Tanya Cooper did a wonderful
Oh,
job.
yes, indeed.
Tanya, you did a wonderful
Miss
job on the
Cooper.
show.
Johnson
Tanya was
in
Tanya
the
was
building.
last time. Teresa Davis in the house. How you doing, Teresa?
All right, y'all, let's get this show popping. Let's get this show
Let's
popping.
rock your own, brother. Let's do it.
All right. The best way you can support our show. Best way to support the show. We're not even asking for money. But, you know. Don't even ask for money. But you can share this onto your page.
Share the content. Like, comment, all of that. That's the ticket.
Yep.
No question.
Hey, Teresa.
That's the best way they can pay us.
Just in the building.
No problem.
Lenny, say something real quick. Test your mic real quick, Len.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I hear you better now.
Can you
You're
hear
kind
me?
of going
Can you hear me now?
underwater for a second.
Okay, you lost me for a second. Okay.
Yes, that's better.
All right. Okay. Teresa
Kim
Davis.
Classy one night in the house. Kim Classy one night. What's up, Kim?
Hey, peace and love.
All right. Let's get this in crank.
Let's go.
Got a lot to cover tonight. It's a lot to cover in a little bit of time.
Let's go.
Miles, what's up, my brother? What's up, Miles?
What's up, Miles?
Miles
What's up,
walking in the
Miles?
house.
Good, brother.
All right.
Great
Miles
evening.
always bring it strong to the mic.
Indeed.
Tell that when Miles be on the show.
No questions. Great comments all the time.
Miles always got a strong comment. That's what I like about Miles.
Yes, sir. We got to have Miles on as a guest one
What's going
night.
on, Miles?
Mhm. There's another powerful sister right there.
Who's
There
that?
you
Kimberly
go.
Walker? Yeah.
You know who it is.
Kimberly.
You know who it is.
All right,
Peace
y'all.
and love, Queen. How you
Let's
doing?
get this thing cranking. Let's get this show
Let's
powerful.
rock and roll, party people.
Most infotaining show on the web. And it comes to you every Tuesday. What do they say, Arden?
Where healthy is the new sexy, baby.
Say it one more time
Know
for
what
us.
time it is. Let's get your sexy on.
All
We're gonna
right.
go right into it with my main man Q. Let him know.
Yes, sir. We are not physicians, and this show is not providing medical advice for any ailment or medical condition. If you have a medical condition, we strongly suggest you seek the advice from a professional healthcare provider prior to attempting any information shown on this broadcast. We just got to keep it legal, y'all.
Yeah. And look.
We got half the firm with us tonight.
Yes, sir.
We got half the
They
firm
still
with
gonna
us.
burn
Pierre
you up.
Parker. Command Sergeant Major couldn't be with us tonight. He had an engagement he had to attend and he had to take care of. But he told me to give y'all his
That
love, and
time.
he will be back here with us the next time.
Hold it down
Yes,
for my
indeed.
cuz.
So we're
But
gonna hold it
Pierre, you
down.
gotta hold it
Command
down
Sergeant
tonight,
Major,
brother.
hold it down.
I'm gonna hold it down for my
That's it.
cuz.
In the meantime, I want to welcome Miss Karen Beans. I want to welcome Kim Class One Night. I want to welcome Kim
Hey.
Marie Walker, Miles Walker, Teresa Davis, Bernice Taylor, Tonya Cooper, Quimley Queen, and so many others to the show.
Welcome, welcome.
All right, you
Let
guys
them know
ready?
about the open forum.
All right. Tonight, it's open forum night. That means please call in. If you got any questions, any concerns about anything, we're here for you. So all you gotta do, dial 240-230-7545. Again, that's 240-230-7545. Come on, y'all. Call in. This is free. It's for you.
If they don't call, they can just type in the chat, Pierre. Either one of them.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, and we'll fly it up. And you'll be
Want to
part of the
welcome Miss Marvin
conversation.
to the
Indeed.
show, and Ronnie, Miss Turning Hands to the show. Welcome, guys.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Okay, listen, we got a lot on tap tonight, man. I mean, a lot. So we're going to keep it moving. During the first segment, socially speaking, we're going to talk about something that occurred yesterday. The socially silent, when social media outage took place, where Facebook was offline, the WhatsApp app was offline, and some other things were offline. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what happens when you stop eating sugar, how it affects the body. We're going to have the Marty Hayes Child Please Award with our new contributor, Mr. Kenny Adams, my boy Kenny. Then in section 4, we're going to do Dreamin' Lean, chapters from Charles. And we'll talk about Pierre Parker's book. We're going to go into a segment of his book, and Pierre will break it down for us. And then finally, we'll have the Night Brothers Challenge update. Bread will make you spread challenge. So like I said, we got a lot to cover. So now I'm going to kick it over to you.
Hey, well, you know where we are, man. If you missed the last week's show, which was a phenomenal show, check us out on YouTube. And any other show that you'd like to see, definitely check us out on YouTube. The Fundamentals of Fasting will be coming up next. And I have an excellent brother that, I call him Dr. Q. We got Dr. G in the basketball world, but in the fasting world, we got Dr. Q in the building. You know what I mean? Let me get one of them right there for Dr. Q. DQ, son. Come on, help us get Q. We need you in the building. Everybody clap now because Q is on board, baby. He's going to break it down. Y'all clap now, Clap now. He'll be on stage.
Hey, Q, before I jump into this, Q, let me get some people up on the screen that
Absolutely.
Yes.
Kim Class at Night. Gotta give a shout out to Kim.
Peace, love, Queen.
Because she gave
Yes, my homegirl.
Kim doing her thing, man. Kim looking fantastic.
All the time, bro.
Kim is rocking it right now.
Hey, man, we need to get Kim on the show for real, man, because, she's
I'm trying to get that done. I'm definitely working on that, brother.
That's my buddy, Margaret.
It's a conflict
What's up,
with her work schedule, but she's going to work it out. She will work it out, for real.
Okay. Margaret Nick is rocking.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Teresa
indeed.
Davis, what's going on, honey?
Was up.
Call him out.
Turning heads. Peace and love, Queen. How you feeling? I hope all is well. I know it is.
All right, gotta get all the comments up real fast, Q.
Yes, sir.
Oh, peace and love.
Margaret said hello to you too, Pierre.
What's up, Margaret? It's my girl.
Yes, sir. Margaret is just a bomb. That's all.
Official.
Yep.
So, all right, Q, what's up?
All right.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad everything is well.
And, fasting is not a diet. It's not a new concept. It's something that we do daily, probably without even knowing you're doing it. It's more of a time eating pattern. And guys, I want you to understand, you're not starving your body. You're just shifting your body's fuel source. Now, there are two parts of fasting. The first part is during the fasting state. During those hours that you cannot consume food of any type. Now, you can have non-caloric beverages such as water, black coffee or green tea. Now, I want you to understand that coffee and tea has to be without sugar or sugar substitute or any kind of cream. One of the great things about fasting is your hours that you spend sleeping count as part of your fasting hours. So if you're sleeping 6 to 8 hours a night, that rolls into your fasting time as well. Over a period of time, it becomes easier to extend your fasting state. During your second part of the pattern, the eating pattern or the feeding state, those are the block of hours which you can consume food. Now, we say that you can consume what you want, but you always want to be smart about it. Don't be wise about what you eat. Don't pig out. Most people eat anywhere from 1 to 3 times during their feeding window. It just depends upon the protocol in which they choose. Over time, it becomes easier to condense your eating window. You can shrink it from 8 hours to 6 to 4 and so on. Now, the thing about fasting is people like to use it for weight loss, but there are so many other benefits in addition to weight loss. There's mental sharpness, the lowering of inflammation, natural, which is big time.
Yeah, boy.
Protection from
It is
disease.
extreme.
One of my favorites is the higher energy level.
Energy. I think about.
Man, when you hit those higher energy levels, woo! I'm not gonna say,
Woo! Q, do that again. You sound like Ric Flair. Do it again. Oh, boy, go ahead.
Now, there are many different ways to fast. What we call the beginners or starters protocol is the 16 and 8 method, where you fast for 16 hours with an 8-hour feeding window. You can also implement an 18-hour fast with a 6-hour feeding window. You can implement a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour feeding window. You can try OMAD, and OMAD stands for 1 meal a day, in which you eat 1 time during a 24-hour period. And also, you can do the alternate day fast, where you fast one day, the next day you eat at a normal schedule, and then the following day you fast again, and you alternate back and forth.
Q,
Whatever protocol you choose.
We had a question.
Yes.
This question came up from Bernice, so I'm going to throw it out. She said, what if you ate 2 meals a day? Is that good?
That is, Bernice, great question, but that's awesome. Actually, Bernice, that's the protocol that I use right now. I eat 2 times a day. I skip the breakfast. I never eat before 12:30 p.m. and try not to eat after 8 o'clock p.m. So during that block of time, I'll get 2 meals in. And so it works tremendously. So 2 meals a day is fine. You could even eat 3 meals a day if you could squeeze them in an 8-hour period of time. It's not always what you eat, it's when you eat. But great question, Bernie.
Yeah.
True. And
The timing is important indeed. That's absolutely right, Q.
Timing.
So Q, you're gonna have to do the Ric Flair one more time because Tanya said yes.
Yeah, we need that. We need that.
Oh, Tanya said
You got to do the Ric Flair.
That's funny.
Oh boy, that's funny. Love it. I love it. She said, I try to eat once and before 7. Beautiful. Work your way up to it. It's fine. You know what I mean? Just as long as you're progressing. That's all we say.
Yeah, good job, Bernice. Good job.
So here's what happened during your first fast. This is for the newbies. Tell them what's happening.
Well, Lenny, first, you get your microphone straight if you can, but by eating fewer times, one of the first things that's going to happen during that first week of fasting, by eating fewer times, you burn more calories, thus cause rapid weight loss. You're going to start to lose weight because you're consuming fewer calories and you're still burning calories. So there's a calorie deficit taking place, which automatically means you're going to start to lose weight. And it may not, guys, I want to say this before we move on. Don't be discouraged if it doesn't happen right away. Because sometimes you have to burn off that water weight and things and the fatty liver and things of that nature before the weight loss starts to kick in. But you will notice it in your clothes.
Right. We're going to cover that principle about being patient. We're going to cover that principle when we get to the chapters of Charles. But number 2, cellular repair happens. This is when autophagy, which is the removal of old and dysfunctional proteins that build up inside the cells, This gets cleaned out and it reduces inflammation. That's something else that will start to happen in your first weeks of fasting.
Yes, that's extremely important, Lenny. I mean, because that
No question.
inflammation is important as far as everything else goes. But going into that is funny because you'll start, even though you're going to start creating a situation where your body's going to be better, you may get a headache. You may have, a light headache or something else. But that's due to your lower salt intake, and it usually goes away in a few days. And it's also due to a lot of chemicals that are in foods that you've been eating, and it's realistically the first level of detoxification, and sometimes your body resists that, just like anything
Absolutely.
else, just like a fiend, just like a drug, a fiend. I mean, for real,
Yep.
you go through a detoxifying scenario, so you may get a headache, indeed.
Yep. It's your, it's natural more or less just your body saying like, what the heck is going on here? Where's all this food I was eating? Where did all those things that my body was getting? I'm not getting them now. So a body kind of
Yeah,
fights back a little bit, but you will
yes,
adjust.
indeed,
Also, there's
yes.
going to be a change in your elimination. You may find that you're urinating more because if you're drinking more water, of
Yeah,
course. You may
it
and your fluid intake is increased, and your bowel movements may even change. They may lessen
will
due
increase.
in the decrease in food. Okay, so those things to be on and look. I would just want you to be on the lookout for those things and not be alarmed when you see these changes take place in your first weeks of fasting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Number 5 is
Insomnia.
Yep.
Okay.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
All right.
and
Trouble. Trouble. Insomnia and trouble. Lots of times people have a lot of issues with sleeping and all, and it could be lots of times it could be diet related. It could be related to too much sugar. It could be pain. It could be a lot of things going on. Also could be just sometimes you have so much stuff on your mind that your spirit or your you just can't sleep. So it's just a couple natural remedies that I kind of recommend that would probably help. And one of them is that you have to get a pen and a pad out, and just before you're ready to go to bed or you're ready to go to sleep, write down whatever's going on your mind.
Wow.
Write it down.
Wow.
That way you can you're clearing your head. And because most of the time we're always trying to figure out how to fix a problem. And so when you write that down, you take that problem out of your head and you put it on a piece of paper. Now you can let it go and not worry about it. And that can help. And the other thing is that you are the commander of your ship. You are in control of your body and everything. So lots of times what happens with people is they have a tendency, one of the reasons why they have a hard time sleeping is because they didn't tell themselves it's time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So how many times was you saying to yourself, something told me I shouldn't have done that, or you would always say, well, man, it's almost like I knew better than that. So there's another person in there that's kind of like trying to do things for you, and you got to communicate with it to tell it, look, we're going to sleep. And the first few times, this sounds weird, I know, but the first few times you may have a hard time with that. But after that, it'll get the message, and you'll be able to go to sleep. But you got to tell yourself it's time to go to sleep.
No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, there's other things.
That's why journaling is so important. I like that comment, Kim. Very good comment from Kim Marie.
What's the last one, Arden?
Hey, well, the bottom line is what we really want: better focus and being more alert. Because your digestive system is working less, your brain can becomes more stimulated, and it also gives your body a time to focus on your brain and focus on your body and make it work more proficiently. So you'll find a lot of things being a lot better. And the funny part about it is that you get a lot more done when you don't have to worry about what you're gonna eat for breakfast. It's not even a thought anymore now. Where am I going to eat breakfast? No, I'm really not eating breakfast. Glass of water, some tea, something like that. I'm out. So focus is huge,
No
indeed.
doubt. I want to give a shout out to a few people that joined while we was
Yes.
going over the last
Oh
week.
man, I got to holler at my girl Gladys
Gladys
Young in the
Young.
building. Peace and love. You
Hey,
just
how you
brought
doing,
it up,
Gladys?
boy. I had to holler at the superstar.
Uh-huh. Our good friend, Miss Juanita Cage Lewis.
Oh man, I'm so
Oh,
glad to see Miss
yes.
Juanita
Peace and
Lewis.
love. Good to see you
Lewis
back
in the
again.
house.
We missed your sage advice.
Yes, sir. You have been missed. So glad to have you back in the house.
Yes.
Yes,
Peace
indeed.
and love.
Yes,
No doubt.
hello.
Missed you.
Also, good brother Miles checking in like he always does. Would it be healthy
Miles is the man.
to not fast on the days that you exercise on and fast
Yep.
on the days that you are resting? We're going to cover that.
You know what? I usually exercise in a fasted state
What
myself.
Juanita said. We saw Juanita the other night, Lanny. Did you realize that?
She looked just as beautiful as she always is, too.
Yes, sir. She
Oh,
said
Yeah.
it was good to see
Yeah.
you the other night, Juanita. It really was. And you look beautiful as well. I want to say that. Thank
Miles,
you
we're
for
going to cover your statement in a second, but right now we got to say who's rocking with us, y'all. Who's rocking with us?
You got Kim Hunt in the building.
coming.
Definitely. Jackie Mason from Bay. Darius.
We got
Come on,
Miss
brother.
Cheryl Brooks, who just got married over the
Yes,
weekend.
indeed.
Who we
Oh,
had the pleasure of attending that
congratulations.
wedding the other night. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful affair. No question about it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, Miss Joanne Jenkins, Mr. Lenny Knight,
Yes, indeed.
Miss Gladys Young, Miss Lisa Powell Johnson, Miss Kim Marie Knight,
Miles,
Miss Miles,
Yes,
Mr.
indeed.
Miles Walker, Cheryl Hunt.
Bonda, Frank.
You got Vaughn in the building. Yeah.
I'm back up on the horse, starting right now.
My main man Keith. Cole Snowden.
Yes, Bessie Knight.
C-Man
Bessie
Adams.
Knight. You can't
Juanita
forget Bessie
Lewis.
Knight. Got Miss Beans in the
C-Man.
building.
Carl C-Man.
Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah.
Yep, Miss Kim.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, a lot of Kim. All this nation too. Anita Kim. My God. Just Karen Jenkins. I love it. I love it. So, y'all look. Let's keep this thing going.
Your mic, bro. Let's keep it rocking, though. The
All right,
Night Brothers
up
in the
next.
fastest show.
There you go.
Child Please is coming up. Socially Speaking is popping. Definitely. So next is Child Please, and we're going to jump into that right now.
All right. Before we do that, throw up a quick comment.
Please.
Juanita K. So true. Eating less, quick walk, and turning the tube off at night will help you sleep nicely.
I love that. I love that,
That's
Juanita.
right. I love
Yes.
the fact of that because
Yes.
Absolutely love that.
subconsciously,
Yes.
what you get into your brain while that TV is running and you know your conscious is down is important to turn that TV off for real.
Yep.
No question.
And that, some chamomile tea can help relax you too.
That's true.
Yep.
That is definitely the truth. That the Epsom salt, and then it's a whole lot in working out in the evening. It's a certain amount of time, especially if you can't sleep at night. I always say, work out between 6 and 8 or whatever else. Get a nice workout. That'll shut things down nice and really nice. No question.
So we haven't brought you Child Please in a few weeks, but we're happy to bring it back in honor of Marty 50 and Fly Hayes, who will always stay alive in our memories.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
We have our good brother, Mr. Kenny Adams, who's taking over roles to do, and he brings the award for the most ridiculous person in the news this week. It could be a person, an entity, or a place, or anything of that nature. And so Kenny has brought it strong tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Marty. So now this is controversial. I'm gonna let y'all in Child Please fashion. This is controversial. So this week, the City of Annapolis Police Department is getting the Child Please award.
Let me get that mic so we can hear you good, please, brother.
Okay, can you hear me? I'm yelling.
Yes, much better now. You were fading.
There we go.
The City of Annapolis. The City of Annapolis. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
The City of Annapolis is getting the Child Please Award this week. That's what Kenny Adams said. And let's give you the backdrop on it. Now, look, I don't want to call out the brother because we do have a black chief of police, Mr. Edward Jackson. I know he does a fantastic job. In the City of Annapolis Police, I know do an honorable job. You know what I mean? It's a thankless job. But the FBI has found that the City of Annapolis Police Department regularly excludes cases from their daily.
Lenny, we're losing you, man.
We lost
And
you.
Annapolis Police Department regularly excludes cases from their daily reporting. And whether that's new or not, but that's what is coming out right now. And it's funny, as soon as the brother got up in there, they pulled that out of the woodworks because I'm sure they've been pushing that down for a little while now. Regardless,
Can you hear me any better now, Q?
Yes,
much
yes.
better
Yeah,
now.
stay where you are.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. All right. So, yeah, so that's the case. So let's take a look at the story. The story, the story goes as follows, and if I can bring it up, yeah, here's the story right here. The story says, and let me get my brother Pierre back up on the screen because I'm messing up right now.
Yes. There we go.
But the story basically says that the city of Annapolis regularly excludes multiple cases from their daily reporting, and an FBI audit reveals cases ranging from complaints filed for monitoring thefts to attempted sex offense and felony drug arrests during the month of September were never included in the reports published by the Annapolis police. These reports usually included offenses such as homicides, robberies, burglaries, rapes, serious assaults, and thefts that were reported to the state of Maryland and the FBI. But the police officers did not report on September 22nd a road rage arrest of a Prince George's County Police Corporal John Thornley until a press release by his defense initiated media and police inquiries. Again, on September 22nd, a 22-year-old Severn man was arrested in Annapolis on a felony drug possession charge and remained held without bond according to the courts. On September 25th, Annapolis police officer arrested a 55-year-old Bowie man on charges including fourth-degree sex offense and a second degree of fault. None of these arrests were included in the daily report. The city is obviously trying to make Annapolis look safer on paper, says Steve Cohn, who's recently a victim himself of a crime in Annapolis.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
It's funny that it'd be good to find out what locations those crimes were committed that weren't reported. Where in Annapolis weren't they reported? Because certain neighborhoods, when you're looking up real estate, there's a crime piece to that real estate lookup, and what's happening in the last 30 days, 90 days, or whatever else. Yeah, so just be
this
interesting to see
this
which ones were omitted.
this is our city, y'all. So this is what Kenny says. Where do I begin on this one? It has been discovered that the city of Annapolis does not report a majority of crimes that are committed in the city in its daily report. The crimes that range from something as simple as petty theft all the way up to major sex offenses and felony drug arrests. The reason for this is to make the city look safer on paper when actually there's a lot of serious crimes being committed right under your nose. This is just another example of people keeping people in the dark by the people vowed to protect them. It also sets the stage for them to pat themselves on the back by reporting these erroneous low crime numbers when it's almost the complete opposite. Child, please, ain't nobody got time for that. Reports Kenny Adams.
Yes, sir. Bring it hard, bro.
So look, here's the deal, y'all. We want to know, family. Were you aware of these practices in Annapolis?
Oh, no,
Put a
I'm
note
certain it was
in
not.
the text if you never heard of it, or put two if you did hear about that going on. I know it's a surprise to me. If I didn't, without this show, I wouldn't have known. So thank you, brother. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
I
You
didn't
know,
know. So I'm gonna put a one in there for me because I wasn't even aware of it.
me neither. And
You know,
the thing about it is that because you live in Annapolis and you don't hear about this, you generally think Annapolis is pretty safe. For the most part. I mean, compared to like Baltimore, we get what, maybe one or two murders a year, and they get like one every day. One or two every day. So you think
right.
that Annapolis is pretty safe, but this is news to me. I mean, it just caught me off guard. So.
Most people
But
outside
I
of
mean,
Annapolis think that Annapolis has no significant black population. I'm not saying the blacks commit all the crime, but I'm just saying most people outside of Annapolis, when I tell them I'm from Annapolis, they think, "Oh, you from Annapolis? I didn't know there's black people down there."
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's the. Have you guys heard that before?
Just the overrunning thought.
I can't ever say I've heard that, but I could understand people feeling that way. And
Uh,
I think a lot of this is based around, as someone stated earlier, I think Kenny might even state, around tourism and revenue. Everything comes back to the the mighty dollar, actually, because what they're trying to do is protect the city's reputation for tourism. For those Naval Academy weekend visits and things of that nature, and particularly after they took the black eye of the midshipman's parent being killed. So I'm sure that was a big hit for the city, and they're trying to keep that down and under control so that people Annapolis won't get a reputation for crime and they lose out on revenue from tourism, boat shows, and things of that nature.
But the truth is, crime happens everywhere, and
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, brother.
everywhere,
No
every
question.
neighborhood, everywhere. So, it is what it is.
yes, yes. So who should be called out for this? You can't, do you throw it on the mayor? Who you throw it on? You know what I mean? I mean, what's the deal with that?
Well, I would say it starts at the top. The mayor and his administration. They have to know what the police are doing and how things are being reported and what's being truthful and what's not being truthful. So I would say a lot of it starts there, but also the police department themselves owe it to the community to be transparent in what's going on, because the residents deserve to know what's going on in the city, and let them make a judgment on how they want to proceed with this.
Absolutely. So look, we're gonna give it up to Kenny Adams for bringing
Thank you,
another great Child Please Award. Y'all give it up for Kenny Adams.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, Kenny.
Definitely.
That's a good one there.
It is. He brought it home, basically. He brought it right to home. So, look, we're going to keep it moving with Socially Speaking. And this good brother, Darius Stanton, brings it every Tuesday night. He helps sponsor. So, Margaret, Nick, you very welcome, dear. You very welcome.
Thank you.
So, we want y'all to watch Peace in the Morning show on Friday mornings, 9 a.m. Make sure y'all tune into the good brother, Darius Stanton show.
Definitely. Definitely check that out. And Thursday, there's Lights of the Round Table at 7:30 in the morning also. So definitely check that out. Awesome shows indeed.
Yes. And the thanks go to Kenny, not to me, but y'all thanks Kenny, not Lenny. But
It's close. Appreciate you, Kenny.
So, socially speaking this week, when socially ain't speaking and becomes silent, that's the socially speaking this week. When socially ain't speaking and becomes silent, So
let's dive into this, man, because this is pretty hectic at times yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it on the other side, but we do want to talk about the simultaneous outages of Facebook, the WhatsApp, and Instagram. There's a couple things that went out, right, Q?
Yep, all three of those were all down
All three of
yesterday
them were
simultaneously.
at the same time. So what happened?
I thought something was
Gentlemen,
wrong
y'all
with my
gonna tell me
phone.
what happened, right? I'm sure y'all gonna tell me what happened because y'all are all informed. So
We're gonna find
I'm just
out.
listening.
We're gonna find out right now.
Social media outage.
All right, we're
Facebook,
gonna learn
Instagram,
today.
and WhatsApp have all gone down
Turn that up
across
a little
the
bit.
globe. WBZ's Paula Eben is here now with the breaking details. And Paula, it seems, at least officially, unclear what caused this epic outage.
At this stage, David, experts say outages aren't uncommon for apps, but to have so many interconnected apps at the world's largest social media company go down at the same time, that is rare. At around noon today, outage tracking site Down Detector started logging tens of thousands of reports for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Facebook quickly acknowledged the problem, saying it was working to fix it as quickly as possible. And late this afternoon, Facebook's chief technology officer called these, quote, networking issues. The timing, however, is interesting. Last night, 60 Minutes aired a story with a former Facebook employee who said the company routinely put money over safety, particularly when it came to hate speech and the dangers of Instagram to children. A cyber expert we spoke with does not believe this timing is an accident.
I think the catalyst for this crash would be the whistleblower news that's come out. And that stirred up quite a bit of turbulence around social media.
Now, a source tells CBS News the problems are inside Facebook as well, and company workers weren't able to use their internal email today. There's no timeline for when the services may be restored. Lisa?
Interesting, Paula. Thank you.
Well, we know that it has. We know that it has been restored.
Very specific.
We know that it has been restored because we are here right now. So we know it's been
It was acting a
restored.
little funny right before we got on, but we on it now.
Yeah. But it was kind of strange. It was almost, almost think. Well, let's talk about it. When socially ain't speaking no more. Do y'all think that this was a coincidence or some type of cover up, or was this some type of conspiracy type thing going on? What you think, bro? Talk to me.
Well, I'm not one who buys into conspiracy theories. A lot of it to me is just unfounded rhetoric. But I do know this much. I know that during the shutdown time yesterday, it was reported that Facebook lost almost $6 billion, dollars in revenue. Can you imagine that? The amount of revenue they lost yesterday? So for it to be coincidental, I can't see that we're losing that type of money behind this. I don't think it's something they would do purposely. Now, some people are saying they're trying to hide and clean up some matters, and that's why they had to shut down. But I do know they lost a heck of a lot of money. As far as it being a conspiracy, I'm not fully on board with that. That's just my belief anyway. Some of you may differ.
Miles says some people are saying that Mark Zuckerberg commanded a mass deletion of posts during that time.
That's what I'm talking about cleaning things up. Maybe it was that, behind cleaning stuff up. And that I can believe. But they did lose a lot of money in the process.
All I know is, I thought something was wrong with my phone, and then so when everything finally came back up, I was completely deleted. I had to go in and put in my password and all this kind of stuff.
Really?
And I don't even have this, because I have 2 accounts. So one account is completely gone.
Really?
Yeah.
It never came back.
And no, so I got one account that I'm on now, but the other account that I've been on for the longest kind of time, that's gone.
Wow.
I don't even know how to get it back.
Kim Marie Walker said they did lose $7 billion. I said 6. They said $7 billion yesterday, man. We're not talking a small amount of change, you guys.
All right, who's that, Kenny? Okay, all right, let me get you on, brother. Hold on. Yeah, I got somebody on the phone. Kenny, can you speak up? Can y'all hear Kenny?
Turn him up a little bit.
We can hear him, but not that great, but we can hear him.
Some feedback.
Mute that. You got to search.
Okay, go ahead, Kenny. Speak up. Can y'all hear him?
No, I can't hear him now.
We can't hear him at all. How about now? Go ahead, Kenny. We can't hear
What's
him.
up? That's probably, it's real light. It's really light.
Can't hear him.
We can't hear him, Lenny.
Kenny, we're gonna have to get you on the other side, brother, because we can't pick you up.
If it's something short, if you could text it in so we can get it, you know what I mean, so we can know what he's saying, that would be perfect.
I'll tell him to type it in on the chat group. We have a couple technical difficulties tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry about that, Kay.
But yeah, 7 billion lost, and Kenny just type it in on the chat group. And
Okay.
pretty serious though, man. A lot of money to be going out the door.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of think about what kind of loss would let you.
Yeah.
allow that to happen. If that was the case, what would
A
be
friend
going
of
on?
mine, Davis, called me up yesterday and said, told me she was having a problem with posting something on Facebook, and she thought it was just her page. And then I said, okay, well, I showed her to refresh, and then I tried to do something. I had to call her back and say, hey, it's not just you, it's everywhere. And Dolores, what is Dolores saying here? Whistleblower was on 60 Minutes. Okay,
Yeah, the
Dolores,
day
a good one,
before.
Dolores.
So I mean, the other side of that, like she said, a whole day of that trending,
Mm-hmm.
what would that have costed them? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I just heard about it. Just
Yeah.
like literally, I wasn't even online yesterday. I was working, so it was just wow. But
This is an interesting quote from
uh-oh.
Juanita Lou here. She said it wasn't a conspiracy. That's what they want you to think. They were attempting a cover-up, perhaps. But I guarantee you, no white man would want to do something that will take billions of dollars out of their pockets. I have to agree with you with that.
Hey,
There
Yeah.
has to be something bigger behind this.
Yeah.
Well, it might be that
I'm not talking white man. I'm saying any man, to be honest with you. I'm saying any man.
yeah,
it
Yeah.
might it might be that they had to cover something up that was going to cost them a lot more than $7 billion.
Down the road. Yes,
that's
exactly.
exactly what I was saying.
And and anybody would take a $7 billion hit over losing the platform because now you broke. Now you're out of business. So it's definitely something going on that somebody said we may never know about. So
You'll never know the truth. It's a lot of things you just never will know the truth about because
yeah.
you follow, but if you follow the money trail, you know where it go.
Yep.
Doesn't take much.
Well,
to
we're
put
gonna
it
jump
together.
into this featured video, and this is about what happens when you stop eating sugar. And this is a continuation on from last week. So if you missed last week, definitely jump back in there and check the first part of this video out after we get off. So let's take a look.
All right, cool. We'll do that, brother. When you stop eating sugar, what happens to the body?
So when you decide to stop eating sugar, and when I say stop eating sugar, stop eating a lot of added sugar from things like soda and cookies and candy, a few physiological changes happen. Within hours, the hormonal levels shift. Your levels of a hormone called insulin will start to come down. It's what we call an anabolic hormone. It favors building up body mass or retaining fat. It's really, really hard to lose weight and to burn fat for calories when you've got a lot of insulin circulating. But when you stop eating a lot of sugar, it makes it a lot easier for your body to access stored fat and burn it for energy. Over a few days and weeks, you'll notice that the lipid levels in your blood start to drop, especially stores of fat in your blood called triglycerides. And that's really important because having high triglycerides can contribute to your risk of heart disease. And sometimes you'll also see other cholesterol levels go down, especially that bad cholesterol, which is called LDL. Another important change that we see over prolonged periods of time is that your palate changes. And so things that used to taste normal to you in terms of their sweetness level will start to taste really unpleasantly sweet, and your palate adjusts to require a lot less sugar to feel satisfied. Your palate's changing will make it easier for you to sustain that change in your diet because you're not going to crave as much, and sweet things don't taste as good to you as they might have before.
All right, let's break that down, brothers, because sugar is, like I always say, sugar has no nutritional value. I say that all the time. Man, y'all was on this. They put you in Facebook jail like it really carries a purpose. When all along they make up their own policies and rules. Wow. And one more real quick to move on. Facebook was 500 points down on the Dow Jones. The woman had been saying it, but it came and talked to Anderson Cooper after the interview. Wow. Pretty crazy. So
That's a good nugget there, Dolores.
yes, indeed.
That is a really, and that's what you're talking about, losing 6 million, 7 million. You lose 5 million points. 500 points on all the shares across every share. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's something. It's something to stop that bleeding. You can best believe. But let's keep it moving because
no more
we
sugar.
on what happens when you stop eating sugar.
Well, one of the first things that's going to happen when you stop eating sugar, your hormone levels are going to start to change, and within hours, you're going to see a lessening or decreasing in your insulin levels. When that takes place, that's a good thing, guys. That's what you want. A normalization of your insulin levels, because that'll help you get down to what we call baseline. And that's when your body starts to use different fuel sources. The reason insulin regulates your sugar is because when insulin levels are high, that glucose sugar is stored as fat, and that's why you gain weight. But when you stop consuming that sugar, the body then searches for another source of energy, and it reaches to some of that glucose or stored fat and begins to burn that, and your body burns more efficiently as well.
Yep, no doubt, Q. You're right on point with that. The other situation when you stop eating sugar is your triglycerides, and basically they are just a form of fat that's in your system. Now the bad thing about this is, the bad thing about this triglycerides is, they can harden your arteries. You know what I mean? They're bad cholesterol. When the doctor says you got bad cholesterol and the hardening of your arteries, it comes from that. So, when you stop eating sugar, Pierre, you can jump in on this if you want. When you stop eating sugar, it really kind of helps with that. Pierre, you had something about this as well?
Yeah, especially when you're talking about hardening of the arteries, can lead to heart problems. It's going to lead to a heart attack and stroke. It's just you get so much plaque in there. I mean, so it's like a water hose. That the blood's flowing and it's flowing, and then you get a clog or a knot in it, and it ain't flowing no more. Then guess what? You go home.
Yeah.
You open it up. You keep living. If it gets clogged up, you go home. You're done.
Peachy says, so y'all don't want no more of my pound cake? Oh, yeah, we want the pound cake now. We want the pound cake, Lisa. And Lisa, we want
to put that joint in the freezer until next week, but I definitely will take a slice next week.
And Lisa, we want you on pretty soon to talk about your event that you have coming up.
Yes, call me tomorrow, Lisa. Call me tomorrow, please.
That's what can happen. Also, foods that lower in triglycerides can really help you out. So foods like leafy green vegetables and avocados, fruits and
good fat.
Pierre, could you talk about that a little bit?
Olive oil.
Yeah, big time. I mean, these foods are so healthy for you, and they're so good for you because they're alive. They're not dead. We didn't kill them. You didn't cook them until they died. And if you're doing the meat and you're doing you got to find a way of balancing things out. And these foods definitely help to lower those triglycerides. And there was one time there was a doctor, and I'll make it really, really quick, who worked on people that had heart problems, and he would always do double and triple bypass surgeries continuous every day. That's what his job was. Then come find out that he actually had the problem, and he was like, I don't know what they was like, if you don't have triple bypass surgery, you can be dead by tomorrow. And he was tripping. He's like, man, I know what this stuff do. And so what he did was, he went home, and they told him he needed to come back. And he said, no, I can't. I'm a devout coward. I'm so scared of what I know what's going to happen. So he decided that he was going to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables, got off all the red meat, got off all the pork, all of that stuff, ate nothing but vegetables. Make a long story short, 1 month later, his arteries completely clear.
Wow.
Completely clear.
6
months later, he did like a 25-mile marathon or something.
Wow. Yeah, but your body will restore itself quite quickly, man. It's just amazing how resilient our body is if we start feeding it the right fuels. Your palate will change. As far as that's concerned, what you eat, what you're used to, will change. The cravings for sweets will go away, making it a whole lot easier to give up these foods. I mean, because If after this 2 weeks and you go back and drink a soda, if you haven't drank a soda in 2 weeks and you go back and sip a soda, it will be unbelievably sweet.
That's sugar
Yeah.
rush.
Unbelievably sweet. Like those
Yeah.
cookies right there with all of the extra cookie candy in it. You eat it and it'd be
Yeah.
unbelievably sweet. Those
Yeah.
corns, those
Yeah.
everybody used to love these joints. It's about that season too. Those
Candy
corn, candy
Yeah.
corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
corn. But man, them things are just straight sugar. The color.
Oh,
And
candy
you know,
corn?
you
Yeah,
eat them
that's what
after you take
Yeah.
a pause, it's gonna be like eating straight sugar. So
Yeah.
Even when I
believe
did
me,
enjoy that
as you
kind of
go
stuff a
through this,
lot, I could never take
if
the
you go
candy
through this
corn.
process, say that again.
I said, even
I'm
when I
sorry.
was enjoying a lot of that kind of stuff, I could never take that candy corn. That stuff was just like
Yeah. It's pure
cubes
sugar.
of
Straight
sugar
sugar.
going down your
Yeah.
throat.
And
Yeah.
truly, it's worse than that because it's straight corn syrup, high fructose corn
Yeah.
syrup.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Lisa
it's
said
really
you soda
important. And then
years.
even
Wow, Lisa,
Peaches
that's all.
said, I haven't had a soda in 3 years, which is great. You know, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, you try to taste that now, it's gonna feel like straight
Yeah.
sugar. You know,
Yeah.
so your
It's way just,
your
yeah.
body helps you out as far as that's
Yeah.
concerned. So when your palate
And see what
changes,
and
it's
see after
it's
a
gonna
while the
change
sugar
how
just
you
don't call your
react
name no
to that
more.
food.
You know, all
That
these when you back off that sugar for a period of time, it just stops calling your name. You're not looking for that no more. Even you could sit around, you could watch other people eat that, and you still don't get that craving back, and that's a good thing. You know, that's a
Yeah.
good
No.
thing.
Yep. Yep. And
I mean, the big thing is that you're stepping away from that sugar, because on the other side of things, even beyond your sugar, diabetes, and everything else, if looking at fighting against cancer, sugar is a number one food for cancer,
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
and
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
reason to try to minimize that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what we're
Absolutely
preaching
right.
here now, so let's be honest, what we're preaching here is moderation. We're not, well, I can't tell somebody never to ever have sugar, but if you have it in moderation, I'm sure you'll be fine. Just don't overindulge in it. That's the key right there.
yeah.
But
Yep.
that's what I just was saying. To
Having some
minimize
balance.
those sugars.
Having some balance.
Yeah.
Minimizing and having some balance. Yes.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to completely wipe sugar out
No, you
of
can't.
your
You
diet
can't do that.
completely.
Realistic. Let's be
you know.
realistic. You're right. Let's be realistic.
Well,
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
other side of that reality, let's be real with how much sugar the American diet has in it. It's
Oh my
absolutely
God.
yeah,
ridiculous. If
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
not the number
yeah,
one diet in the world with the most sugar, it's got to be
yeah,
number two.
yeah.
But
That's a
Yeah.
crazy
generally,
number.
last time I looked at it, we were number
I
one. It
think it's
was
like the
ungodly how
average
many
American.
pounds, how many hundreds of pounds of sugar we eat
Yeah,
per year. It's
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. I think it's something. It's way up there, anywhere from 60 to 100 pounds of sugar a year. You
Per
know,
And
person.
just
like
think
Dolores
of
Yeah.
said, do it in moderation. I love what Dolores
yeah,
is saying here. Like I just said, do it in moderation. That's all.
and
That's
just
the key.
stay away from the high fructose corn syrup. That is the
Fructose corn
Yes.
worst
syrup.
sugar
Yes.
on the
Yes.
planet. If you
That's the
do,
worst
if
of it.
regular sugar is nowhere near as bad as high fructose corn syrup.
Yes.
Honey,
Yeah, it's good,
hey,
Miles.
you can do a little bit of that. You can do raw organic sugar. You can do a little bit of that, and
Yeah.
you will be surprised at that. It's sweet. It's sweet enough,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't have to
Todd
do as much.
Kmart, what's up? What's up, fam?
What's up, Todd? What's up,
All
brother?
right. Yeah, Miles said he was never into eating sugars and
Eating a lot of
sweets and cakes
sweets.
and that. And Miles's mom told me that Miles had some. She told me one day we were on the other broadcast night. She said Miles doesn't even like
That's good,
certain
Margaret.
foods. Like he doesn't even like macaroni and
Mhm.
cheese. I said, man, he's gonna get you
That's
a black.
good. It's a very good thing to give
Well,
up.
well, that's
Starching and
sugar.
the cheese.
That's sugar too. I mean, because
Yeah.
basically, what Arden is saying and Pierre was saying, 100 pounds per person of sugar each person, the average American eats in a year. It's a lot of sugar hidden in foods.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Carbs, breads, pastas,
Yeah.
potatoes.
Yeah.
All of those
Yeah.
things have a lot of
Yeah.
hidden. They
Yeah.
It turns
convert to
directly
sugar.
into sugar.
Yeah.
Right, in your
Yes.
system.
That's salad dressings. Yeah,
Right,
another
Yep.
hidden
So,
sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. All kinds of
Definitely check
sauces
out
and stuff
last
like
week's
that.
show. We kind of go into those hidden sugar things. So I'm just plugging it,
Yeah.
definitely check us out on YouTube. Last week's show is the bomb,
no
and it
doubt.
definitely deals with a lot of those unseen sugars.
Well, it's
Indeed.
time for chapters from Charles.
Oh,
Wow.
All right, y'all. So we feature Pierre's book. He wrote a great book some years back, and we're going into chapter 6. And Pierre, we want you to talk about these things. We're going to ask you these 3 questions, and we want you to explain to us each one of these. So number one, Art, won't you kick number one and ask him about it?
Well, I mean, we coming straight out the book, so you can kind of elaborate on this. It was saying to always keep in mind that you are building your body from the inside out. So you may not see immediate results, but they are coming. Can you kind of
Yeah,
go into that? Because I think that's
yeah,
a very important statement,
yeah,
because we so
yeah.
visual.
That's very true. And one of the things that bodybuilding has taught me, it has taught me patience. Because you when you're working out and you really want to get that diesel look, and you're naturally not taking any drugs, you're not taking any steroids. What you're doing is tearing down the muscle
Mhm.
tissue, and your body is rebuilding it layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. So muscle grows slow at best. So all so you just got to keep focusing on the end result, what you want to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And you just keep focusing on that, just every day. Just keep doing it, just keep doing it, keep doing it. Pretty soon, somebody gonna say, what you doing? What you doing?
Q know that. Q know
You starting to build up a
Yeah.
little bit here and there. So I mean, I probably
Good
trained
tip,
for about
Pierre.
6
Good tip.
months. I trained for 6 months. I mean, hard, and ain't nobody say nothing, not even my wife.
that.
You know, and I was like, wow. I mean, I thought it was supposed to happen a lot faster, because you look at the guys and the bodybuilders and you go, wow, and it's funny because I was talking to a master trainer, and I was telling him, I said, I've been training for 5 years and this is all I got. And he was like, well, wait till you've been training for 20 years. I said, I ain't got no 20 years. What you talking about? I need this like now. But guess what? This works by the law of the farm. You got to plant so you can reap.
There you go, brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you
You
reap
get that
10
compound interest.
times. You reap 10 times more than you plant.
That's
So
true,
just have the
brother.
patience and keep going.
That's right. You gonna reap
Remember,
when your season
yes,
come in, right, Pete?
yes, you're building the body
And it,
from the inside out, so you're not going to see all that's going on right away.
thank you.
Just keep going.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even see it long term. I mean, the stuff that's happening on the outside that's great, you still don't see what's going on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
That's the part. You feel it. That person feels it, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
keeps you moving, man. Because you feel that what's going on, and then after you're in a groove, if you start eating wrong, or you start doing something else and not working out as much, you feel that. You feel like you're out of a groove, and
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
movement and it's the hit for your body to say, "Look, get back into doing what was working for me."
Kim
You
Yep.
Marie,
know.
Kim Marie, that sounds like a biblical principle, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep. What you reap. Yep.
Q, what's the next
Yeah.
one? Number
Break
two.
it down though.
What's number
Well,
two, Q?
Pierre, in your book you said success comes from nourishing your body, mind, and spirit, your total well-being, and transforming toward peace. Now, could you break
Mm-hmm.
down what you meant by that when you mentioned that in your book?
Okay, so when you're talking about so when I started training, for me at the beginning, it was all about just my body. I wanted to see there was changes, and then as I continued with this, I started to realize that I had to get my mind involved,
Mm-hmm.
which meant that I had to you know find a picture, and go after this body part or that body part, and put it up on my vision board and focus on it. So now I have my mind involved, and then I kind of realized that hey, there's a spiritual principle behind this too, and so I started meditating. I started focusing on that vision in my head, what I wanted to look like, all that kind of stuff. And so what it did was it took me to another level of fitness. So I called it supra fitness. So when
Okay.
you got your mind, your body, and your spirit working as one, the results come faster, and it's complete. Your whole entire body becomes complete. And what happens? You become much more calm, much more peaceful, much more relaxed, and you're able to enjoy your life more because you're working on the all three parts of who you are as a human being and as a spiritual being.
So Pierre, did you find that you didn't, because you were all three things was working in sync, that you just didn't worry about things as much? You just lived. You just lived. That's what
Right?
I'm saying.
Was no stress. Stress just kind of like subsided. Worry and fear and all that stuff subsided. I started to feel better about myself. I started to feel more confident about myself. I started to be more relaxed, and I just started to, just to see the world and people and everything differently.
Wow.
You know,
Q, what more you got for him, Q? Number 3.
Yeah. You also talked about you need to create a win-win-win attitude. Your body will win, your spirit will win, and peace will personify in your life.
yeah,
And you kind of
yeah.
touched on it just now a little bit, but
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit more about having all three of those pieces in place. And Kim Marie Walker just talked about it too, about health,
She did.
mentality, and
Right on
spiritual.
time.
So
hmm
talk about
So
that just a little bit.
one
If
of
you
my
give us-
one of my friends that I happened to communicate and spend some time with was Les Brown. And one of the things that Les Brown,
Great Les Brown.
Yeah,
yeah, amazing Les Brown.
Yes, indeed.
He instilled in me. All I could hear him saying, "You were born to win."
yeah,
Over and over again. You know, and he'd always say, there's greatness in you. And there's so many things in us. And so many things that we can tap into. All we need to do. What does it take to win? I think just being peaceful, just being happy, enjoying your life, and don't compare yourself to everything and everybody. You're
yeah,
already a winner. You're a spiritual being. There will never ever be another you, in the total existence of the planet, the universe,
Amen.
all of that.
Amen, brother.
So
Amen.
go with the win. You already won.
Pierre,
Things are
man.
already
Yeah.
done.
Pierre, man, I love your whole philosophy on bodybuilding, nutrition, exercise, and everything else, because you don't leave out that third element that most people do. When most people go, when they get into one of those fasts of either dieting or exercising, they usually stay very single-minded on that one aspect. But I learned, even when they taught me in college, when I was taking courses for my degree, they told me that mind, body, and spirit.
yes,
Those were, and they say that the Greeks knew this years ago. You know what I mean? Years and years ago, that you cannot separate one from the other if you want success. So, man, I love what you do
yes.
Yeah,
in this
I
book.
appreciate it. Well, I
So
appreciate it.
we're gonna continue to break down different chapters, Q, as we bring
Yes,
the
yeah, we'll
partners
continue
on.
this, yeah, because we have a lot more to cover as we move forward in the weeks and months to come. So thank you very
Right,
much, Pierre,
right.
for
You're
for
so
this
welcome.
section of the book, for breaking that
And
down.
For
if
me,
anybody wants
that
the
was
book,
yeah.
DM us underneath. We can get that information straight to PS. So you can get probably a signed
Yeah,
version. I'm throwing it out there.
yeah,
Maybe it might be
absolutely,
signed for your son. I don't know.
absolutely,
Just
absolutely,
hitting them.
absolutely.
But for right now,
All
everybody
right.
say thank you, Pierre, in the chat
Yeah,
group.
yeah,
Thank you.
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
So and the
Hey,
key behind the book is that the book is saying be it, do it, have it, because being it is always faster than doing. And if you're being it, that means you already have it.
Hey,
But we
brother.
always come from the other way. We feel like in order for us to have it, we have to do it and then we have to be it. So I'm just saying, won't you be it already and just do it and you'll have it.
Amen. Well, you getting the thanks, Pierre.
Yep.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Kim Marie wants to get a signed book, Pierre, so you got to do that, brother. Juanita
Sure get one.
Cakes said, thank you, Pierre, man. Your spirit is just contagious, brother. It's contagious, man. You know what I mean?
You're
beautiful
so
spirit.
welcome.
Indeed.
Love
Always.
you guys, man.
But
All the way back
love
from
you
Positive
also, man.
Connection days when we had the band Positive Connection.
That's right. Yes, sir, man.
I remember PC out that joint, man. We didn't rock the ball.
Yeah,
We
Look,
didn't rock you. I'm sure if you on the line, we didn't rock you already.
yeah.
so one more.
Tell me.
This is the last day for Pierre's challenge called the Bread Will Make You Spread Challenge. Now, I'm going to admit right now, I'm going to confess. We had a 2-week period. I did not do that good the second week. I'm gonna confess. I went to a wedding over the weekend. Q, you
Yes.
bad too, Q.
You and I both, man. Both of us are guilty because we were at a wedding and things of that nature. Kind of got off the field a little bit.
We got all track a little bit,
I'm
Q.
gonna make up for it, guys. I will make up for it.
So I'm gonna throw this challenge out to you. Let's do the challenge one more week. How about one more week? Y'all down?
Let's do it.
Anybody down for it? You know, I'm in.
Q, can you do it one more week?
Of course, man.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna tell you. You know what though? First of all, who knocked it out? If you knocked it out and you did 2 weeks straight, put a 1 down in there, just so we know and we can celebrate you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about the celebration. Now, let me ask you this: if anybody messed up 1 or 2, maybe even 3 times, you missed 3 days, let me know. Put a 2 down that joint. You know what I mean? Because you still did an excellent job. Now, anybody that ate less sugar in these last 2 weeks than you've ever eaten and and stepped away from a lot of stuff, celebrate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
if you did 7 days out of these 14, celebrate what you did. I mean, for real, because think about it. How much sugar do you generally eat? If you step back off of that and you didn't do what you generally do, celebrate that. But this next week, we going all out. So tomorrow and all the way till next Tuesday, we going in.
I'm down for one more week. I'm down.
Thank you. And I'm just saying for real, because even the people that did a little, you know what I mean? If you just made an adjustment, you won. You won. So let's win one more week.
Right.
I'm gonna give it up to Margaret Nick because she said she did real good.
When you celebrate, find something, buy yourself, a new outfit. Or,
reward. Reward yourself.
Get your hair done and get your nails done. Do something special for yourself. You don't have to go out and now do the cake because you celebrated a week or 2 of not doing the cake.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. If we all do one more week and do great, I think Lisa's gonna give us a slice of cake.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
A week from tomorrow.
Oh man.
Hey, man.
Let's wrap it up, brother.
All right, man. Look,
I might have a mask for anybody that make it through. I don't know if they don't sell out of these joints. I might have a mask, for the people that make it all the way through the week. Please, God.
Lisa said she gonna give up that cake for everybody, y'all. Y'all want Lisa to give us some cake?
Yeah, Lisa.
We coming over your house.
One more week of no sugar or low sugar. All right, Lisa gonna give us a cake. And she'll tell you.
In a shameless plug, we're gonna have her in. We having Lisa come in for a surprise for y'all. Let y'all know something is coming up, real special. So be on the lookout.
I got to have some rice.
Be on the lookout.
All right,
be better than the cookout
as well. And Tony said take a 1-day trip. All right. Well, listen, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for the night. Once again, we appreciate you guys so much for being here with us and joining in with us. And
so appreciate you.
As we clown around sometimes. But, we like to have fun
Joyce.
at the same time. Joyce, welcome. Joyce says she's in. All right, Joyce. We're counting on you.
Peace and love. She's in with us.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Pierre, give me your closing comments, Pierre. You had to hold it down for the firm of Park. Give us some closing comments.
I guess, in my mind, I'm just thinking, first of all, it's a great pleasure and an honor to be here, with these amazing guys, to put together something like this, with this platform like this, and then, take a little guy like me who's just trying to do some stuff and to be able to help out. And I just want to let everybody know how much I care about them and how much I love them, and I'll do my best to continue, to hang with these guys as much as I can. And, it's all about helping you guys. And, we just hope that you take this advice and you run with it. Don't just listen to it and let it go on one ear out the other. Do something with it, please.
Amen. Oh, what you got, brother? Brother Natural.
Hey, man, I'm just so thankful, man. We got people rocking with us, and, we're all getting healthy together. We're going to live longer. We're going to live stronger. We're going to love stronger. We appreciate you guys, man. And I mean, more than man. Your strength, really, man. I can't speak for anybody else, but y'all strength and y'all coming out and doing it with us, it helps me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, teamwork, together we can all achieve more. So this is helping me. Everybody that's on this joint helps me every week, hands down. So I thank you just for what y'all doing, how y'all on, and the information you put in. And just to clarify something real quick, Turning Heads, cleaned it up for me. I didn't want to throw a number out there because I wanted to be sure, but I think she said 158 pounds of sugar per person per year. That is insane. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for that. And thank you all. Thank you all. And thank you, brothers, man. I appreciate you guys, hands down, for what y'all do to make this happen. Peace and love.
Awesome, man.
Amen. Awesome. Q, take us out, brother.
Just want to thank everybody once again for joining in with us. You guys, you play such a vital role. And I want you to know how important you are to this show. We love you. And
yes,
we hope we'll continue to be together many years to come. And we continue to build better health and this better relationships, better finance.
Yes, sir.
Love all y'all.
Remember, it's a journey, guys. This is a journey.
All right, y'all. One more week. That's my closing comments. One more week. We're going to check in next week. All right, y'all. Good night. We love y'all.
We love y'all. Good night.
Love y'all.
All right. All right.
Joyce.
Good night, everybody.